Hello and welcome. Today is makeup day. As you can see, I'm doing a tutorial for this eye look. There is two things I want to kind of emphasize in this look, and the first main thing is hooded eyes. You've seen my eyes without makeup and you know that hardly any eyelid is visible normally, but I still want to do this kind of bold look. So this is a full glam, but also a half cut crease eyeshadow look for hooded eyes. I know this is not the most simple thing to do. That's why the video might be quite long. I'm sorry about it, but I think I'll do some timestamps to different phases of this eye makeup, so you can skip the ones that you already know and watch the parts that you are most curious about. I also did today this kind of get ready to film with me a chatty version. If you want to I can't speak. If you want to learn more about me and see what I do before I film, I link that below. And if you want to see close-ups of this video, I'm going to post them to my Instagram feed the same day I'm posting this video, so you can check those in there if you want. But let's get into this makeup tutorial. First step is that I took the shade Supreme and applied it, kind of my first transition shade, to this almost upper part. I always leave this little part of skin up here, so I never take it up to my eyebrows. I do this kind of gradient to my eyelids because I have so much space here from my eye to eyebrows. If you have less space here, then of course you need to reduce the amount of eyeshadow. Then I take the next step, shade Pinker, and place it a bit lower to this eyelid. I start to create the crease kind of. As you can see, my crease is actually here. I have quite small eyelids. But now that I have hooded eyes, and when I turn my eyes like this, you cannot see my eyelids basically at all. But what you can see is this part here. And I have a little bit of eyeshadow here. This is a helpful tip if you're not sure what part of your eyes is visible when you relax your eyes. You can do this, and you can see now that the part which is just about visible when I have my eyes relaxed is at least a centimeter higher than my actual lid. So this is the part which comes visible, and this is your crease with your hooded eyes. So you want to create something that is there is color in here. If you have the problem with your hooded eyes that you think that your eyeshadow never shows up, you need to find where your shadow starts to show up and apply it in here. I start to kind of make the form of my crease to my eyelid. I put it almost to the same level as the previous shade. And also notice now that I have a kind of negative dropping here on my eyelids. So I need to be careful how further here I can pull my eyeshadow. In here it's not a problem because I can see, but this part I easily, if I do this and apply eyeshadow to this part as well, when I close my eyes, it will drop lower than my eye corner is, and it will look very bad. It will look that your eyes are drooping. So again, you can mark like this or with pencil or something that what is the actual place to which your eyeshadow is to be put, and to which part of here you don't want any eyeshadow. That wasn't a good mark, but I know already that I can pull my eyeshadow to this level, half a centimeter from my actual crease. And when I relax my eyes, it will be in right place. Also, one tip is that I quite often don't pull the eyeshadow as long as I could. When I'm doing my lower lid, I then kind of elongate that kind of eyeshadow here, so it's easier to see then what kind of shape you want to form and how it's going to look in the end. And usually I blend with the previous brush, so I apply the lighter pink shade with this one, so I blend this shadow now with that brush. That way I found that they mix together more easily. Now it's time to get more depth and shade to your crease. I take the shade, what was this? Big Wig. And now I don't, as I now see that everything is looking good, that I have enough of eyeshadow visible when I have my eye relaxed, and when I do this kind of shape of my eye looks quite good actually. So I will place my crease here where the darkest, the lowest part of the dark is, and then we'll do the cut crease during that line as well. So that's going to be the crease today. I take the darker shade and I took the shadow to the other side of the brush, and I apply it now that the part which doesn't have eyeshadow is below my eye, underneath, so that way I can control to what part of eye I'm going to place that eyeshadow. And this brush has a little bit of pointed end, so it's easier to make a sharper line to my eyes. And as you can see, I only apply it to the lower parts of the deeper shade, just to deepen it up and to give it more shape. I always start with less color and less pigment. You can always deepen it up, but lightening an eyeshadow is much more difficult. Then the inner corner. My eyes are, for example, very different in this. This is more like an almond, this is more rounded. So the shape where this part goes down is different. In this eye I can pull it down quite straightforward, as in this side I need to have it more curved. So these are different, and you need to learn how your eyes are shaped to know again where this eyeshadow comes visible when you relax your eyes. Now blending these outer parts, this eye is much easier for me, it's quite smooth. This is a much bulky kind of, so I really need to be careful to how I blend this. The easiest way to blend this outer corner is having a little bit of product in the brush and doing this kind of blending motion outwards. So this way the movement is not so harsh and I get more kind of control how far away I'm going to blend this shadow. This is something that happens if you have dry eyes. As you can see, there is a little bit of patches of this deeper shade. That's something that just happens. It is easy to fix though. You just kind of tap more eyeshadow onto the places which are less pigmented, and then continue what you were doing. Now let's move to the outer corner. I'm going to use the same purple eyeshadow pink wig to outer corner, and I just tap it, but this is the point where you need to be really careful not to take the eyeshadow too low. Otherwise you need to start wiping off, and that's really not easy, especially with old eyeshadows. I usually put it kind of straight forward or upwards, so it will be that kind of line. That way I can make sure that the eyeshadow doesn't accidentally go too far away and cause me troubles. I also need to be very careful when it comes to the inner corner or the outer corner here, because this part already starts drooping as well, so I need to be kind of careful what I do there. That's something easier. It's easier to do when you're doing your lower eyeshadow, so just wait until that part. I want to deepen this look just a bit more, so I'm going to use the brown shade called Credit. And I have this small pencil brush, this is Lux Pencil 230 from Zoeva. And I apply it just to the outer corner. And to the lash line, that's the most important. And then I take just a tiny bit and apply it to the kind of fake crease line I have formed. I need to be careful that I'm not making too thick line because I want the purple shade to be the most visible. And then I blend it with the brush, I apply the purple shade. Let's go to the cut crease part. We already have this kind of shape of the imaginary crease that we have. But we need to be careful still of the line and shape of our eyes. I personally don't want the cut kind of be visible when my eyes are relaxed. So I always start using my concealer from the lower part, lash line. I'm doing only a half cut crease today, so that's why I'm not taking it further. And then I start taking it higher. And I don't mind, I have the most of the product here, so I have less product up here, which makes it easier to control. I kind of first mark the shadow of the cut crease to my eyes, so I can all the time check that how it looks on my eyes and when it does come visible. So we need a little bit more of the shape and the white part to take a bit more higher, so let's do that. And don't worry if you mess up like I do, you can fix it easily. So here we can see that it almost is too high. There is only those messes that come visible when I relax my eyes, so this is quite good now. If I lean my head backwards you can see it, but when I look straight forward you cannot see it. I take the shade Soleil to this very flat brush and start patting the eyeshadow to the crease or the eyelid. I take the first shadow, only 2/3 of the light area, and then I take the shade Shookington to the other side of my brush and apply it here, so I can get a little bit of gradient to the cut as well. And then I just mix these together, but I'm going to be careful not to take that purple line too, or the purple shade too much inwards. As I want more color to this look, I add a little bit of the red kind of glittery shade, Wiggly's, something like that, to this outer part. I love this shade. Now we have a cut crease which is very messy on this part, so we need to do something about it. What I do then is I take a small flat dense brush and the shade which is the dominant shade in the eyeshadow, which is the big wick, and then I start slowly and creating this kind of shape again and cleaning the crease line. I have already put now concealer and a little bit of powder, and now it's time to continue this look. I took the MAC 221S and the shade Pinker, and I'm start to applying it to my lower eyelid. I always start from the outer end and then depending of the mood, forward it to the other parts. And this is the moment when I combine the outer corner to its place. So now it's much easier to see how wide eyeshadow I have in here and what kind of shape I want to have in this part of my eyeshadow. And this is now a hooded eye problem again, that when I look straight forward, the eyeshadow might look very different than when I turn. As you can see, for example, now there is this white patch here, which you cannot see that much when I look straight forward. That's definitely a hooded eye problem, that you have these curves, bulges forwards, and that will kind of transform how your eyeshadow is going to look from different angles. So you need to be very careful of what you apply and which parts and how dark you want it, and especially shimmery, shiny colors, they might cause you some surprises because they reflect the light differently. So matte shades are most safe at this part of your eye. I am doing this bold look today, so I'm taking the lower lid eyeshadow lower than I would do every day on everyday makeup. My kind of marks are that I have these small lines here under my eye, so I cover them with the eyeshadow and then it's kind of the right size. I always leave this small part skin-like. I like to use some kind of glittery shade on that area, and then I'll apply a little bit of the deeper shade just to take off this lightness from this part of my eye. And then I take a smudger brush and use that purple shade Big Wig to the lash line as well. And a little bit of blending with this brush. I don't take any extra color to that one anymore. I think I want to make this line a bit more round, so it's easier at this point to start kind of shaping the look if you want. Just a tiny bit. Then I take the brush, I use the lightest pink shade. I have a little bit extra color in this, and I just gently, hardly even touching my skin, blend this eyeshadow line. When you do this technique, you really need to be aware in which part of the brush the color is, otherwise you end up putting the color to a totally wrong place. But especially the outer corner is something I like to use something very light and bright, kind of making the eyes look bigger. And then a little bit of the light champagne shade Soleil to this inner parts of the lower lid. I kind of connect this line to this part as well. Also, this will make my eyes look a bit bigger because they are not the biggest eyes in the world to start with. If you want this line to be more sharp, you can use a liquid liner, a pencil, or just apply, for example, black eyeshadow with very thin brush. So there is a lot of techniques you can do that, but I'm happy with this. And I don't use black liners on my everyday makeup, only when I'm doing this kind of bold look. And actually, as I didn't use any black eyeshadow, I probably wouldn't do black liner even with this look. But for the sake of testing this, I want to try how it looks and works with this kind of. If you don't have hooded eyes, you might be wondering why I'm not doing a winged eyeliner. That's a question only people who don't have hooded eyes will make, because everyone who has hooded eyes knows that it is very difficult to do winged eyeliner. It is possible to do, and I think I'm going to do a video especially for that. But because this part of my eyes does drop down, I just cannot do it like this as usually would, that I just look downwards and draw this line. Because if I do that and relax my eyes, the line will do this kind of curve down here, and that's definitely not something I want. That's why I do a liner like this, that I pull it to the outer corner and I make it just a tiny bit thicker in this outer corner. And then I leave it slightly thinner in this corner. And this is because when I open my eyes, you kind of cannot see the spot where the eyeliner even ends. So I can pull it with this kind of look. I noticed that I already do have some kind of little creases or wrinkles on my eyelids because I'm getting older, and doing an eyeliner can be a bit tricky. That's why I did very small kind of brushes to my eyes to see how it settles to my eyes. And this was very easy pencil to use on this kind of mature eyelids, so definitely recommend this. You can see already that this is, as this is very dark, this kind of darkness doesn't look like much anymore. And that's one reason why I don't like using black eyeliners, because it kind of takes down the bold eye look. And on my fair skin, this is already really bold and dark. So if I want to, as I'm putting lashes, it doesn't matter. But if I wouldn't putting on lashes, I would need to use black eyeshadow on my outer corner to kind of match it together. I will curl my lashes, put a little bit of mascara and put my lashes on, and then I think I'll put a little bit of black eyeliner or dark purple on my inner lower eyelid, and I'll see you then. Okay, lashes are on, black eyeliner is on my inner rim, and now you can see that there is quite a lot of this contrast difference to the eyeshadow here and the blackness in here, so I need to do something about it. In this case, the something about it is applying the dark brown shade credits mixed into the big wig eyeshadow, and I try to kind of smudge this lower lid lash line with this combination. Okay, that did help. It did make this look much darker, but let's not worry about it. So here is the look. I will do my other eye and rest of my makeup now, and then final words after it. You saw the end result in the beginning, so it's no surprise how I look now. I really love how this makeup turned. It's been a while since I did a bold look like this with a full coverage foundation, so it kind of looks strange to me, but kind of I'm really excited. This is definitely not something I would wear every day on my everyday life, but it is holiday season, that's why I did this video, and I think I need to remember to do something like this by the end of the year. But now, as usual, I hope you have a great day and see you next time. Bye bye.